Hey up, welcome back. Benny Vapes here with another review. So today, what we're going to be looking at is an item I was sent through for review from Mark at naturevape, and it is the Nest RDA from aresvapor and designed by Mark at naturevape. So this RDA is a little bit different. It's different as in it's a mesh RDA, but it's actually a vertical mesh RDA. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down low. We're going to have a look around the item, we're going to do a little build in it, then we'll come back up and we'll have a little chinwag about it. So I'll see you in a minute.
Dance like there's no tomorrow. like there's no tomorrow. Dance 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 like there's no tomorrow.
Right, so we're back up top looking at the Nest RDA from aresvapor and designed by Mark at naturevape. So what do I think about it? Right, I do think it's somewhat totally unique. You know, there's been mesh RDAs out there, but this is the first one I've seen that does vertical mesh and doing it somewhat different. So it is a little bit tricky on your first build. You will find that you're going to struggle a little bit because it's a little bit finicky when you first start doing it. But a couple of goes and you'll be good to go. You know, because it does get easier as you start building it. It really does. All you've got to remember is get that cotton tight around. And if you watch Mark's building video, he actually shows you putting on a little O-ring just to hold it in place. Once you've, you know, dry burned your mesh, you put your little rubber O-ring on and hold that in place. So it gives you, you don't have to hold it, you can actually free your hands up to put the cotton on. So I would suggest going over and watching his build video, because obviously he designed it, so that's where you're going to get the best advice on how to build it. What did I think about it? I like the flavour off of it. I like how it looks. I do think it looks nice. Some people probably won't like the little etchings on the top and the bottom, but I think it looks quite nice. You know, I didn't particularly like the drip tip that came with it, so I've just swapped it out for my own. You know, looks so much better with that on. The flavour off of it is really, really good. It is virtually like a stock sub-ohm tank, because by the time you've put it in that cage, you put all your cotton around it, it is just like having a stock coil sub-ohm tank. It vapes really well. It can be a little bit noisy when you first put your juice in. So when you fill it up with juice, you get the wick nice and wet. It does go a little bit turbulent. But a couple of pulls, and once it's settled down, then it's sweet as a nut. It does, when you turn the airflow a little bit, it does get a little bit noisier. And you do get that little bit of turbulence. But I've had worse strippers. I literally have. That I can put up with for the flavour it's giving me. Like I say, with building it, I would definitely recommend picking yourself up some extra mesh of your choice, which are $6.99, and some extra cotton, and that's $4.99, and both of them come as a pack of 10. With this cotton that you get, it's actually, if I show you, it's crimped at both ends. Look, you see, it doesn't come apart. The cotton that you got in the pack does has a tendency to split, because it's like 4 pieces, and when you're wrapping it round, it just starts to come out. So that, with it being crimped at the end, actually lets you hold it a little bit better. So I definitely recommend, for the price of them, for 10 slip bits of cotton for $4.99, you can't go wrong. And they do them in different types as well. I think you can get alginate fibre cotton, alginate hemp cotton, and also pulp cotton. So you have got different options for your cotton there. So try them all out for $4.99. You can try each one that you want to do, and you get, you know, see which ones you get best flavour on it. I did find when I built it and you let it sit for a little bit, because I basically, you know, put my juice in and then put a little bit down the middle like I would do a sub-ohm tank, and then let it sit for a couple of minutes just to get it soaked nice and wet. You do get that cotton taste. It's probably 3 or 4 pulls and it goes, but the first bit you do get a slight cotton taste. So maybe different cottons won't do that, but I did on my, you know, on my first couple of pulls. But then it goes, and then it starts wicking like a good one. If you find that you are getting dry hits, Dean the Devil Vapor did mention something, and it does work, is that if you find you get a dry hit after a couple of pulls, just get a pen or something just to push down the middle of it and just spread it slightly so it's touching the cotton better. And it does work. It does work. because I tried it. I had a bit of a try it and I thought, oh, I'll give that a go, and I pushed it a little bit and it works. So if you are finding that you're struggling with it and you are getting dry hits on it, then just get something in and just give it a little bit of push around. You know, the build quality on it is really, really nice. You know, when you put the top cap on, it snaps into place and it stops and starts. You know, so it doesn't go all the way around, so it's easy to get it off your mod. You know, you're not worried about your top cap coming off. The O-rings are really strong, nice and strong. You know, like I say, it is an 810 drip tip, so I particularly like to say I wasn't a fan of the drip tip, but I just got a goon style one, dropped it in, and you're good to go. For the price of it, $25.99. I think it's a bargain. Like I say, you're probably going to get it and you're going to find it a little bit awkward at first. It's something new. It is something to, you know, to try out. And once you get that build right, you'll be thinking, wow, this is really nice. The only thing is, though, I run it about 60 watts. I did push it to 70, 75, and it was getting a little bit hot on the top cap. Down at 60, I think that's its sweet spot. But it's not a hot vape. You know, none of the mesh ones are. It is a cooler vape on mesh. Like I say, I tried to push it a little bit higher and I was finding the top cap got a little bit hot for me. You know, but that's just me. I just don't like things really hot. I like a cooler vape than that. So mesh suits me just fine. And it does hold a load of juice. And I can tell you, you can pin it on and you'll think, bloody hell, this is taking loads. And it does take a load. I've had 30 pulls off of it, and I counted them before it started going dry. And you do get that dry. You don't get a sudden dry hit, because if you ever have a dry hit off a mesh, you'll know about it. It tails off, and you think, oh, that's starting to get there, and just put some more juice on it. The only other thing about it is you can't just do like a normal dripper. You can't just squirt it down the top. Do that, and it pisses out all over the place. You have got to take the top off and paint it on. You know, you can't just blur it down the middle. It's just not that sort of dripper at all. You know, I think if Mark brought out a squonk pin for this, it'd go well on a squonker, because you've got all that cotton in there and you've got your juice bottle. Squonk it in, keep it squonked, and you've got a load of juice in there and you've got your bottle. So maybe he will do, maybe he won't, I don't know, but maybe it's just a little bit of an idea. Maybe he's tried it and it didn't work, I don't know, but I think it'd go well with a squonker, because you've got all that cotton in there, starts going dry, you don't have to take the top off and paint it, you just give it a squonk and it fills back up again. All in all, I think it's somewhat different. I do think it can be a little bit finicky, you know, till you get used to it. It's really hard. I probably butchered it when it was on camera, because it's really hard to do it on camera, but the first few builds are going to be a little bit finicky. So like I say, do get yourself some extra bits. You know, for the price of them, you can't go wrong. $25.99 for the RDA, £5 for the cotton, £7 for that. You know, for £40 that way, you're getting a full kit. And it does do different mesh for it. So if you don't like the stainless steel, you like the camphor, you can get that. If you don't like either of them, you can get the nichrome. So there's options there. And he's also looking at, from what I've watched and that lot, is doing pre-wrapped coils for you. And I think that would be fantastic. If they came with a cotton wrap round it, bob it straight in, put your cage on it, bang straight into RDA, line it up, screw it down, job's a good one. You know, watch for the screws. I found the screwdriver on the one that came with it was okay, but I prefer to use my own. Just with them being crossheads, that they felt a little bit crunchy, and when I was screwing it down, I was thinking, I don't want to strip this, so I use my own. So maybe get your own build kit out, you know, and use that, because you get a little bit more purchase on it. But all in all, it's a really nice dripper. It's somewhat different. It has got its quirks to it. Some people might like it, some people might, you know, hate it, but it's different. For the price of it, get it, try it, you've naught to lose. So I would like to thank Mark from naturevape for sending this out for the review. Top job, mate. I do think it's somewhat different. I do think, you know, you've come up with something there, and I hope you do well with it, because you have put money into it. So thank you very much for sending it out. I hope you found this video informative. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram. I will put a link to a video that I think you might enjoy. You can find me here on a Wednesday night, you can find me here on a Sunday night. Wednesday night we have Mixing with Benny and Friends. Sunday night we have NUVS, all at 9 o'clock, all on this channel. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.